Hello everyone, this is Santosh Srivatsav Sharma. So we are actually doing a series on three-phase AC circuits. So the main topic is polyphase AC circuits. So in this polyphase AC circuits, which means if the phase number is greater than 1, such kind of AC systems are polyphase AC systems. Now in this polyphase AC circuits, the most popular and the most widely used system is three-phase AC system. So why do we use three-phase AC system most widely and why is it popular all over the world? So all these points we are going to discuss in this particular first session. So now what is the necessity of three-phase AC system and what are the advantages of three-phase AC system over other phase of AC systems? So all these points we will cover in the first session of this series. So now first of all, the first three-phase AC system is the most popular and widely used AC system in the world. So the first necessity of going to three-phase AC systems is power to weight ratio of three-phase AC machines is very high. Power to weight ratio of three-phase AC machines power to weight ratio is very high. This is one of the first important point that we go for. Based on this reason we go for three-phase AC systems. Now what is power to weight ratio? For a given size of machine, say for example the machine is a generator, we consider the machine as generator. So for a given size of generator, the single phase power and the three phase power, if we compare the single phase power and three phase power for the same size of the machine, means the same size of AC machine indicates same amount of copper wire is used. So for the same size of machine, the single phase power and three phase power, if you compare, three phase power is more when compared with single phase power. By using same amount of copper wire, we can generate more amount of power by using a three-phase machine. And what is the amount means? It is 50% more amount of power when compared with single-phase generator. Single-phase generator, three-phase generator, if you make a comparison, for the same amount of, by using same amount of copper wire, three-phase machine, three-phase generator generates 50% more amount of power when compared with single phase generator. Not only a particular generator but also all the three phase AC machines. For all the three phase AC machines, power to weight ratio is very high. What about other machines? So the other machines are transformer. The other machines are like transformer, motor. These are the three important machines we use in AC system: generator, transformer, motor. So for transformer also power to weight ratio is very high, which means that for the same amount of copper wire, three-phase transformer can transfer more amount of AC power. Similarly, if you go for three-phase motor and single-phase motor, a three-phase motor gives more amount of mechanical output power when compared with single phase motor. Compare three phase and single phase motors. Three phase motors mechanical output power is very high when compared with single phase motor for the same amount of copper wire used in the motor. So this is the one of the fundamental points that why do we go for three phase AC systems. That means power to weight ratio of three-phase AC machines is very high. And the second reason is, if you go for the next important reason, so the second reason is instantaneous power. The second reason is regarding instantaneous power. How about instantaneous power in a single phase system and in a three phase system? Instantaneous power in single phase system instantaneous power is pulsating, changing, whereas in three phase system instantaneous power in three phase system is constant, which means three phase machines operate in a steady manner when compared with single phase machines. Vibrations are very less in case of three phase AC machines and the operation is very smooth. Even the power transmission from source to load will be very much uniform in case of three phase system, because the nature of instantaneous power nature in single phase system is it is pulsating, means changing, whereas in case of three phase system, even though the three voltages and currents are varying, the net three phase power, instantaneous power that we get from three phase system is constant, so that the operation of three phase AC machines are vibrations free. Vibrations involved are very less and the operation is very smooth. And also we have one more important reason that we go for three phase systems, and that is three phase flux produced from three phase supply is, the nature of three phase flux is uniform as well as rotating. The nature of flux produced by three phase AC supply, it is uniform in nature, and as well as the three phase flux is rotating. Because of this, three phase induction motors are self-starting. Three phase induction motors are self-starting, whereas if you go for single phase flux is pulsating, changing. Because of this, torque produced from single phase flux is also pulsating, so that single phase motors are not self-starting motors. Single phase induction motors, particularly, why am I considering induction motors means, induction motors are the most widely used motors in the world. If we make a comparison between three phase induction motors and single phase induction motors, because the flux produced from three phase supply is uniform and rotating, three phase induction motors are self-starting motors. No additional arrangements are required to make the motor self-starting. Naturally, the three phase flux is rotating and uniform, so that three phase induction motors are self-starting motors. Whereas if you consider flux which is produced from single phase AC supply, the nature is pulsating, so that a pulsating torque is produced, and the induction motors for single phase supply are not self-starting motors, so we have to do additional arrangements, which means that it increases the cost. So single phase system is not economical. From the first point also we can write a conclusion like economical system is three phase AC system. For the same amount of power, three phase AC machines uses less amount of copper wire, which means less cost is incurred, so that three phase AC system is economical, efficient and superior to single phase AC machines. So the first reason is power to weight ratio of single phase AC machines and three phase AC machines comparison gives like economical system is three phase AC system. And the second important advantage of three phase AC system is instantaneous power of three phase AC system is constant, so that the operation of three phase machines, transformers, generators, motors is vibrations free and the operation is smooth. And the third important reason is three phase flux produced from three phase supply is uniform and rotating, and the three phase induction motors are self-starting and better in operation. Not only these reasons, there is one more important reason called, if you take single phase AC supply and make a conversion into DC supply, we will get a ripple content. I mean, in the DC output, the ripple content is 48.2%. I mean, if you convert single phase AC supply into DC output supply, this output consists of ripple content of 48.2%. Whereas if you convert 3-phase AC supply into DC supply, the ripple content is only 4%. From this analysis also, we can say 3-phase AC to DC conversion is superior compared with single phase AC to DC conversion. So now when we discuss all the points, we can say that 3-phase system is economical, better in operation, efficient in operation. So what is the basic difference between single phase, 2-phase, 3-phase means? We can write like a simple point: more phase, more power. More number of phases involves more power. I mean, from single phase to 2-phase, the increase in power is 42% approximately. From single phase supply to 2-phase supply, the increase in power is 42%. Whereas from single phase supply to 3-phase supply, the increase in power is 50%, which is very abundant amount of power we can consider. From single phase to 3-phase, an amount of 50% of more amount of power is generated, more amount of power is available in case of 3-phase system when you compare with single phase system. So now the question arises, why don't you go for a phase number greater than 3? I mean like 5-phase, 6-phase, 12-phase, like this. Yes, we can go to a higher phase number and there is an increase in power also, but what is the amount of percentage means it is only 7%. I mean, beyond 3-phase AC supply, beyond 3-phase AC system, the increase in power is only 7%. But there are so many complications. What happens if you go for 5-phase, 6-phase, 12-phase means it increases the number of wires, it increases the complexity, which increases the power losses. So because of all these additional complications, we limit the system to 3-phase AC supply. So that's why 3-phase AC supply is the most popular and most widely used AC systems in the world. So now, what about other types of AC systems? Does the other phase systems are in usage in the world? Let us have a brief look. 2-phase AC system, which we can derive from the 3-phase itself. From 3-phase AC supply itself, we can get 2-phase AC systems, which is used in servo motors. I mean, in feedback control systems. For servo motors, we use 2-phase AC system. Whereas 5-phase AC system is used for large scale industries. If the 3-phase power is not sufficient, in only extreme severe cases we go for 5-phase system. Next, 6-phase and 12-phase system are also used, but they are used in high power radio transmitter station. I mean, to transmit a radio signal over a very long distance, it requires more amount of power, and there we use 6-phase and 12-phase system. Next, 48-phase system. Even 48-phase system is also implementation, but this is used in aluminium industry. I mean, to melt the aluminium, raw aluminium is to be melted for purification purpose. There we use 48-phase system. But overall, if you consider, these phase systems are very rare in usage, and the most widely used system is 3-phase AC system. So this is the session, this is the first session that we have discussed in this video. This is majorly on why do we use 3-phase AC system most widely and what are the major advantages of 3-phase AC system. In the next session, we will discuss what is a 3-phase system, what is a 3-phase source and what is a 3-phase load. Thank you.